Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for our latest webinar called Amazon, the Missing Piece of the User Journey. Today, I am joined by Pete Mutton, who is our Performance Manager at NMPI. Today's presentation, just a bit of housekeeping before we get started. Today's presentation will take about 30 minutes. We will have a Q&A afterwards. You can ask your questions throughout in the chat function on the side, and at the end of the presentation, we will answer those. We are also recording today's presentation, so for any reason, if you need to leave, this will be available and we will email it to you afterwards. Now, without further delay, I'm going to pass you all over to Pete, who's going to take you through everything you need to know about Amazon.
Thanks, Lisa. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my webinar on Amazon, the missing piece of the user journey. Today, we'll be talking through the rise of the Amazon advertising platform, who is the Amazon customer, a quick look and lesson into the Amazon advertising platform, and then finally looking at the missing piece, so where Amazon fits into the overall user experience, a few strategies that we can utilize to enhance Amazon performance, and a brief look into the future of Amazon advertising. So first, the rise of Amazon, or more specifically, the rise of Amazon advertising. This is a quote from a fee advisor study in March of this year, and it found that 2/3 of US shoppers typically started their product search on Amazon. For contrast, 1/5 of respondents used a search engine like Google, and only 3% looked on another marketplace. The same study also found that 54% of respondents said they were more likely to convert on Amazon compared to other e-commerce sites. And this loyalty and dependence on Amazon is not just from the consumer side. Of vendors and sellers on Amazon in the US, nearly half sell almost exclusively on Amazon, accounting for between 80 to 100% of their online business revenue. It's no surprise then that digital ad spend on Amazon is growing, and growing rapidly. This graph shows the digital ad spend share of the top 3 advertisers in the US market, those being Google, Facebook, and Amazon. No surprises there. When looking at Amazon, we can see that it is increasing significantly compared to Google and Facebook. In fact, 2018 was the first year that Google's market share decreased. The majority of this was lost to Amazon, which showed a year-on-year increase of 123%. For 2019, this is forecasted to be 53%. Facebook's market share remains relatively steady thanks to the growth of ad spend on Instagram. And despite Amazon still being way off Facebook and even further off Google, it's clear to see that customer journeys are changing, and Amazon ads is only expected to grow further. And on the Amazon platform, we can see this change as well. This graph shows the share of US product views driven by sponsored search. And looking throughout 2018, this increased from 6.6% in January to 10.5% by the end of the year, showing not only an increasing user willingness to interact with sponsored results, but also an increase in ad spend from the advertiser side. But why are marketers advertising on Amazon? From a study in February of this year of US marketers already advertising on Amazon, these were the top 3 reasons as to why they spend on Amazon. Strong performance and ROI, the size of the audience available on Amazon, and that the retailer's target audience is active on Amazon. It's no surprise that these reasons are all related to performance and the size of the audience, with Amazon being the first destination of many looking for online shopping. Interestingly, the 4th top reason was to do with the mindset of the user, that the users on Amazon are there to buy. That brings me along nicely to my next section, the Amazon customer. So who is the Amazon customer and why are they on Amazon? Now, I'm sure most of you listening have bought something on Amazon. I certainly shop on Amazon. I expect most of the people in the City of London to buy on Amazon. But what are the reasons as to why people shop on Amazon? So, product reviews, one of, if not the most important factor in a product's e-commerce success and customer buying decision. Free delivery. Who hasn't had that spur of the moment purchase to hit that £20 free delivery threshold? Amazon Prime, access to all of Amazon's top features for a small fee. Product selection, a truly vast product selection on Amazon. You can literally find anything on there these days. Loyalty on Amazon, proven by the fact that so many people head direct to Amazon for any product purchase. Quick delivery, with the option of same and next day delivery, this can be a lifesaver if you've forgotten your cousin's, niece's, or other relative's birthday. Price, Amazon is often going to be the most price competitive destination out there. And ease of purchase, often only taking one click to order a product. So what does all this come down to? It all comes down to user experience. Just like every other channel, user experience is key, and Amazon offers an easy, efficient, and familiar one. With Amazon being so deeply ingrained into the mindset of users, it has emerged as the primary destination for product searches. With its ease of checkout, product selection, product ratings and reviews, and all the other items that we discussed, it creates a positive feedback loop that only encourages better reviews, more customers, and a better user experience. So how do we tap into that mindset of the Amazon user? We as marketers have been advertising to those on Google and Facebook for years, learning who they are, what they're looking for, and how they behave. So how do we do this on Amazon? Now, I always use Google and Facebook as well. And in fact, the user is going to be the same across all three channels, whether we're on Amazon, Google, or Facebook. So how do we apply that mindset to Amazon? So who is the Amazon customer? That's right. It's you, it's me, it's your friends, it's your family, it's everyone in the City of London. But I can't just show you a tacky GIF to convince you. Let's actually look at some real numbers. So the following data I've pulled together from a portfolio of US advertisers, both from the Google and Amazon paid channels. First, I wanted to look at the actual search behavior. So what are customers searching for on these two platforms? And I've categorized the data into three categories: brand, product, and generic. Brand being those that include the brand term, product being those related to a specific product, and everything else categorized into generic. And this chart shows the percentage share of impressions that each category drives for each channel, whether that's Google or Amazon. And what we can see that stands out are the product terms. On Amazon, this accounts for nearly half of the impressions, whereas on Google, this accounts for only around a quarter. This makes sense as users are on Amazon to buy something, they're searching for a specific product, compared to the more generic research-based terms that seem to dominate on Google, which backs up that preconception of purchase mindset that you'll find on Amazon. What's also interesting is that there's a lower volume of brand terms on Amazon, suggesting a move away from brand loyalty when on Amazon. In effect, Amazon could also be the brand. And what about those metrics that we as marketers so keenly measure and analyze? So here I've taken the same three categories and I've also added the shopping channel from Google, and I've compared this to the Amazon ads activity as a whole. As both product-based campaigns, the comparison here is invaluable. So looking at the click-through rate, when compared to Google paid search, we can see that the click-through rate on Amazon is far lower. This makes sense as on paid search, we can tailor the ad copy to be as specific to that keyword as possible, enticing the user to click through. Whereas on Amazon, with the product-based ads, with price and images, it can be a lot more competitive with all of your options laid out there in front of you. And this can be seen for shopping as well, which shows an even lower click-through rate. And again, as shopping is an entirely paid channel, competition is going to be far, far higher. What about when the user clicks through the ad? Once they're on the landing page, how do they behave? When looking at the conversion rates, this tells a clear story. The conversion rate on Amazon trumps that of Google by miles. The lowest conversion rate on Amazon is from the generic category, which is higher than the highest conversion rate on Amazon from the branded category. So what does this tell us? It tells us that users on Amazon really want to buy something. Again, it's that preconception of purchase mindset. Another metric I wanted to analyze was the time to conversion. So again, I've used the same categories, and this chart shows the average number of days to conversion of each category on each channel. And in general, most sales were bought on the same day. But looking at it in more detail, we can see that there's a slightly longer time to conversion for Google paid search compared to Amazon and Google Shopping, which show the lowest number of days conversion. Which of course again makes sense as e-commerce platforms, users come to these to purchase, whereas on Google there's more research going into the decision for purchase. So the question I get asked all the time is, if my customers are coming to Amazon to buy my product, why do I need to spend money advertising on Amazon? And it's never easy deciding how much to spend on performance marketing. And that's why as marketers, we need to advertise effectively on Amazon. And the answer to that question, it comes down to business growth. You need to spend money to make money. Brand defense, how to compete in an overly crowded market. And of course, user experience, how you can make it the best it can be so that your customer keeps coming back. And questions that we should be asking ourselves are, how do we drive growth from Amazon campaigns? What changes will make the biggest impact? How do we protect our brand from competitors? And what is the most effective method to do this? How can we improve the user experience for our customers on Amazon? And what are our customers looking for from our brand on Amazon? Now, I can't answer all of these questions for you right now as every brand is different. Hopefully it's given you a few ideas about how you can run campaigns effectively for your brand on Amazon. So now I want to go through the Amazon advertising platform, a quick overview of the ad formats offered through this solution. So there are 3 ad formats available on the Amazon advertising platform. The first are sponsored products. These are the most common and most widely used campaigns on Amazon. They're the bread and butter of the Amazon advertising solution. And these are divided into 2 targeting types, search targeting and product targeting. So shown here are search targeted product ads. As you can see, they appear on the search results page on Amazon. Much like paid search, these work by bidding on a certain keyword or set of keywords with a max CPC, a cost per click based, and when you click through the ad, you go through to the product detail page. A bit more like Google Shopping, you're bidding for a certain product or set of products which appear in your product ad. And these are primarily used for maximizing performance, driving sales for your product range. And the second targeting type are product targeted for sponsored products. And these are shown on the product detail page alongside where you'd find frequently bought together or customers also bought or finds product, sponsored products, product targeted ads. And much like the search targeted, you're bidding for a set of products, but instead of bidding on keywords, you're bidding on product ASINs, which are the unique Amazon identifier for products. And these are primarily used for stealing customers away from competitors if you're able to offer a better reviewed and cheaper product, as well as upselling complementary products on your own product detail pages, and also taking up that space and utilizing brand defense. So moving on to the second ad format, sponsored brands. These are primarily search targeting, which I'll talk about first. They're a banner ad, which you can see appears at the top of the search results page and consists of a brand creative, usually the logo, a brief message, and 3 product ads. Again, you're bidding on keywords with max CPC. And when you click through one of the product icons, you go through to that product detail page. And if you click elsewhere on the banner ad, you're either directed to the brand store or a custom product list. And these are primarily used for brand awareness on Amazon and defending those key brand and product terms. Now, quite recently, Amazon has just launched the product targeting capability for sponsored brands. So now, like sponsored products, you're able to use these campaigns on the product detail pages and target specific ASINs. And then the final ad format is sponsored display campaigns. And as the name suggests, these are display ads, which display on the product detail page and around the web as well. And these utilize both product and audience targeting. So you can be used for retargeting those that have bought or viewed your products before, or those that have searched for similar products. So I hope that's given you a quick overview of what's capable through the Amazon advertising platform and what perhaps you could launch for your own brand. And the final section I wanted to talk about was on the missing piece. So where Amazon fits into the overall user experience. Amazon is famously a siloed channel. So what strategies we can implement to work around this and also enhance Amazon performance. As I'm sure you've seen from the presentation so far, there are a lot of similarities between Google paid search and Amazon ads. And we can use this similarity to enhance performance on both platforms. Here at NMPI, we utilize search optimization processes to analyze search queries and trends and identify new keywords to add back into campaigns. So using that data to ensure our products are showing for the most relevant search terms to that product. And these strategies together have led to an increase in our share of voice on our channels and an uplift in impressions of 25%. And from this host of data from Google, we can use this to better inform our bidding decisions on Amazon. Utilize that cost and conversion data to identify what products, what keywords work well, which ones deliver on your ROI goals and make the most profit for your brand. Identify which areas you should be investing into. A third of US advertisers on Amazon are utilizing third-party optimization tools, and they're seeing success doing so. We at NMPI work with Kenshu, a campaign and bidding management platform, and through our use of data and their advanced optimization tools, we've seen an uplift in ROI of campaigns of 15%. And on top of delivering on results, it's also important to measure your results. And with Amazon being so siloed, it can be tricky to see what users are doing elsewhere on the web. A few strategies we've implemented to work around this include utilizing the Amazon attribution platform to compare behavior of users on and off Amazon. So we split traffic from Google product paid search campaign, half going to an Amazon landing page, the other half going to the brand store. And we looked at the user behavior between the two. And what we found is that on the Amazon page, conversion rate was actually 14% lower. So users reacted more favorably to the brand site when searching from Google. But 14% isn't that much, given that the user was there looking for that product from that brand. And this does suggest a shift away from brand loyalty, that most consumers are perfectly happy to convert on Amazon just as much as they are happy to convert on the brand site. In addition to this, you could utilize UTM tagging on those campaigns. So should the user return to your site from Amazon directly, you can track those. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas of how you can enhance your Amazon performance and also measure more holistically your campaigns. And I wanted to take a brief moment to look into the future of Amazon advertising and have a few thoughts on this. So first, will Amazon become more integrated with other channels? With the launch of Amazon attribution, which is currently in beta, this does look like the way that they're moving, but progress here will be slow. One advantage of Amazon being so siloed is that it's ITP proof, making it far more measurable from a performance marketing perspective. Every cloud has a silver lining. How will Alexa and voice search affect the advertising landscape? Always a hot topic of conversation, voice search has the ability to revolutionize the paid search landscape. And with the Amazon voice search capabilities and e-commerce platform all being under one roof, it looks like Amazon are in a really good position to take this on. And finally, will third-party tracking ever be allowed on Amazon? This is kind of related to our first point. As Amazon becomes more integrated with other channels, we might expect third-party tracking to be allowed. But ultimately, this will always be down to them. And we may not be able to track Amazon activity off of Amazon. We can measure it. Here at NMPI, we utilize dynamic holistic dashboards to show Amazon activity alongside other channels such as paid search, display, and social, allowing us to make better decisions on strategy and measuring those metrics holistically. So what are the key takeaways from today? Amazon is big and is only going to get bigger. We can utilize Amazon ads and the capabilities it has to drive real business growth and improve our user experience. And we can utilize data from all of our other marketing channels to enhance our Amazon performance. And today I wanted to leave you on a quote from Jeff Bezos from this year. Amazon today remains a small player in global retail. We represent a low single-digit percentage of the retail market, and there are much larger retailers in every country where we operate. Now, this is coming from the richest man on the planet, who doesn't think his company is a big deal. For those of you that don't think that Amazon is a big player, think again. Clearly, they have not scratched the surface of what they want to achieve, and their ambition will take them far further than we can imagine. Thank you very much for listening today, and I think we have some questions that we can go to.
Great, thank you so much, Pete. That was really interesting, and I hope all of you found some great insight in that. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat function now. We've had a few come in. So firstly, you mentioned Amazon is big, so I'll start with Scarlett's question. The share has decreased for Google and increased for Amazon, but what does the overall market size look like?
So the market size overall is increasing and it is continuing to do so. There's nothing to suggest that the ad spend on any of the channels will decrease.
Great. And the next one from Ruthie, are these Amazon users a completely new breed of buyer? Are the Google ones still loyal?
So what we found from our study is that with those looking on Google and being directed to Amazon, they still converted on Amazon, even though they were searching on Google. And it suggests a move away from brand loyalty and a move towards Amazon as a preferred channel. Absolutely, there's those buyers that head direct to Amazon, as we've seen, but that doesn't suggest that the ones searching on Google will move completely to Amazon. But there's certainly more favorability in the mindset of the user to shop on Amazon.
Amazing, definitely one to watch. One last question from Sophie, which says, search is often considered bottom of the funnel. Maybe Amazon is beginning to fill that void.
Absolutely. Users head to Amazon to purchase. That's the reason they're going there. It's a product e-commerce site. And with Amazon so deeply ingrained into the mindset of users as that destination for product searches and product purchases, it truly is the bottom of the funnel.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pete. As I mentioned at the beginning of today's session, we will be sharing this recording with everybody. So feel free to catch up on anything that you found interesting or share it with any of your colleagues. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoy your lunch.